Welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. Good to see a lot of familiar faces here. I don't know about everybody else, but it's cold here. Prosper and don't worry about it. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for being here no matter how long you could be here. Thank you. And good morning to most of the people that are in North America. For our friends across the ocean, good evening. For our friends even further across the world, I think it's the 15th already. So how was your Valentine's Day? Metalhead, good point. We were actually talking about that in Discord this morning. Like, super commercialized holiday. I feel like Valentine's Day is actually a holiday more for people that are like in kind of newer relationships that go all out and get them a lot of stuff. And Claire and I have almost been married for 7 years. So yeah, we say happy Valentine's Day and stuff like that, but it's like we don't go out of our way to show each other how much we love each other just on this one day. So, you know, it's funny though, man, how commercialized it is. I went to the supermarket yesterday and there's just like, they had decorated the whole store in like balloons and stuffed animals and candy. And I'm just like, it's funny because I'll just buy a bunch of the candy and take it home and Claire and I will just eat it. Like we just buy it like we buy normal candy. I saw somebody say it was negative 21°C. Ouch. I have a friend that lives in Winnipeg in Manitoba, Canada, that it's been hitting like negative 40 every day for him. He has to put boots on his dog when he takes his dog out. I saw somebody ask where in the States I live. I live in Nashville. I'm originally from Chicago, but I've lived in Nashville for about 10 years. All right, I've seen a bunch of people bring this up. I'm just going to tell you now, I will be doing Sabaton's new single when it comes out for Sabaton Saturday. So don't you guys worry about that. I'm excited to check it out too. Absolutely, Jamie. Make more money. Mr. E, it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Yeah, Mariposa, yeah, Claire and I will just go buy a bunch of chocolate and eat it. We'll just, like, we buy it for both of us. 2 degrees in St. Louis. I don't think it's quite that cold here. Let me check real quick. It is negative 10 Celsius, of course. In Fahrenheit, that is 14. Not to mention, Silent, that Winnipeg is just always windy, too. But you guys get the cold weather up there, too. Oh, did I not say Tennessee, Pennywise? Yes, I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Jason, we're going to be doing the world tour. I just got to find a good time to start that. I'm probably going to start it after our daughter is born, because Claire could go into labor at any time right now, and I don't want to announce that I'm going to start doing that and then I'm going to be off, because you know there's going to be a few days where I'm not going to be on YouTube because we're going to be at the hospital. Oh, Jamie, I know the Cadillac 3 guys. That's awesome. We've done shows with them. Oh, Metalhead, that sucks. I love snow, honestly. Yeah, Jenny, I will be getting a lot of candy tomorrow. Nice, Denise. I loved Chicago, man. I grew up in the west suburbs, and then I lived downtown for a while before I moved to Nashville. I think it's just the new single, Kevin. I don't think the album is coming out yet. Because when I had talked to Hannes' drum tech in the episode of Interview with the Roadie, Chris jumped on there, and he said that they were still recording some vocals and some guitar solos, but the base of the album was done. But I don't think there's any way they would get it done that quick and release it within 3 weeks. So I think this is just the single. Ryan, I have not listened to Judgment and Punishment yet, and that's a good shout because I need to check out some more Ginger. It's been a minute. Ooh, full moon on the 27th. Awesome. Daniel, nobody needs an excuse to buy chocolate. This is just when they market it to us. Nashville is definitely not colder than Chicago. I talked to my dad and my mom within the last couple days, and they said it's like close to, 0 Fahrenheit, tons of snow. We will reveal the name of our daughter after she's born. And no, there will not be a birth live stream. I told Claire I'd bring my GoPro and record everything just for us, but that will not be shared. New Love Bites song. The first time I listened to them, I didn't love it. I was impressed by their talent. I just didn't love it. But I think it would be fair to check them out again, especially if they just released a new song. I also heard Blood Red Hourglass released a new song, and I have not listened to them yet, so I might check that out too. Got a good week coming up. I did, Friday morning, I woke up early, and I had my interview with Tom England from Evergrey, Redemption, Silent Skies. Awesome dude. Excited about editing that and letting you guys see that. Our due date is on March 10th. Claire's ready to go now. She keeps saying she just wants to get it going now. Yeah, we're really excited. A lot of my friends are like, dude, are you scared? I'm like, no, I'm stoked. Jay Worth in Utah. You guys cold out there? Getting lots of snow? I got a buddy that's traveling out there right now. Yeah, right? Saga. No, I don't think they want to. I think they're joking. I do have plans to listen to tarot. I have plans to listen to a lot of things. It's just really hard to get everything in. I have so many recommendations of stuff I need to check out. What do I like most about Nashville? How cheap it is compared to Chicago, where I used to live. The cost of living here is a lot cheaper than Chicago. But I like it. I like the vibe. I like that it's close to music and work and stuff like that. Metalhead, where were you for boot camp? Yeah, Jessica, some bands that Chase and I have reacted to have like commented on stuff and have talked to us. It's very cool. Do I have siblings? Yeah, I have a sister. She's 25. And she still lives in the Chicago area. We are not revealing our daughter's name until she is born. We do not have any metal posters in our nursery. But if she grows up liking metal, she might get one in there. Yeah, we'll just call her Tank Girl for now. Good call, Pennywise. Good reference. Data Wolf, yeah. So, for the last 12 years, I was running Apple products for everything. I had a MacBook and stuff like that. And when I decided to do this, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go PC. So I got a custom gaming PC built. It's nothing super high-end. But I have upgraded. I gotta remember what I have in it off the top of my head. Rocking a Ryzen 5. I believe it's a 2600. GeForce GTX 1660. I upgraded the RAM in it. I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I just put a new 2 terabyte solid state hard drive in there. It works for what I needed to, man. I can play like Cyberpunk with no problems. I can stream and run pretty much any game, no issue. Oh, Great Lakes. All right, Metalhead. Yeah, I grew up in the west suburbs. Yeah, Edward, we've got a great community of people that show up for me and Chase at our premieres. We love all you guys. Yeah, Elite Rules. If you go east of here, like a little bit, we can get to the mountains and stuff really quick. It's great. Yeah, yeah, as far as I knew, Great Lakes is the only Navy boot. Yeah, okay, Metalhead just said that. Wales! Yeah, that is pretty far from us. But I know where it is. I think a Necrogoblicon poster might scare a little tank girl. That would be cool. I used to have a lot of those when I was a teenager, Saga. Those blacklight posters. My dad actually bought a Baby Metal onesie for her. We do have a Baby Metal onesie. I agree. Windows is definitely more user-friendly. I would say that Apple is for people that want a computer that don't know anything about computers. They just want it to work well. And they do work well. But in terms of what I can do, I love PC. Like, I'll never go back. Denise, I miss Chicago. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I miss living there, especially during the winter right now. Mariposa, I have not started fixing my Warwick yet. I need to do that. Daniel, I've never heard of Visions of Atlantis. Greece, we got Greece in the house. Welcome. Eid, or EAD, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, one of these days, if I ever get to that point, I'll probably upgrade and get a better computer. But like I said, right now it works great. Crystal Lake launched a worldwide contest in order to remix Apollo. That would be cool. I could give that a shot. It's always coffee time. Oh, I know where Itasca is. My mom used to work there. Formia will be the next popular girl name. I hope not. I've heard of Silent Civilian. I don't think I've listened to them. Dave, I haven't figured it out yet, man. I can record and I can do everything I need to, but in terms of streaming, I can't figure it out. And what kind of pisses me off, is that a lot of other streamers are are kind of like being gatekeepers about it. I've reached out to a couple other streamers and YouTubers, and I'm like, hey, is there a certain plugin that you can get to get your guitar working and stuff like that? And they kind of beat around the question. Like, nobody's ever offered it to me. Charlie, Big Brain Singer, has sent me like a tutorial on how to do it, and I kind of went through that and need to figure it out. But everybody else that does it all the time has kind of just beat around the bush and not really wanted to help out. It's like they know how to do it and they don't want anybody else to know. I don't get it. My favorite coffee is Thunder King out of Southern California. I love their stuff. If I like Nightwish, I might want to check out Visions of Atlantis. Okay. Wow, I have 3 terabytes and right now I'm pretty good, but I keep all my videos that I've finished on a separate hard drive, so that helps out a lot. Because if I didn't have them on a separate hard drive, I'd be taking up a lot of room. When I first got this computer, I need to change my focus here. It's looking a little weird. Why is my exposure all weird? What is going on with my settings? There we go. Now we're better. When I first got my computer, I filled up a terabyte. Fast. Silent Civilian is Johnny from Spineshank? Well, I like Johnny and I liked Spineshank. I have not seen the Seether release of a fan-based video. Scotland. Yeah, I've checked out a lot of Leo's stuff, actually. That's why I've never done any reactions. Jamie, deep dish pizza, all the way. And in Nashville, there's actually a restaurant here called 312 that's a family from Chicago moved here and opened a Chicago restaurant. They have deep dish pizza and Chicago dogs and stuff. Their pizza is so good. I do like Black Rifle coffee as well. We had that on tour a lot. Yeah, Charlie's a super nice guy. I've talked to him here and there on Discord and on YouTube and stuff. He seems like a good one. Nice. Dude, I have listened to Eternal Nocturnal probably every day since I've heard that song. I've not seen the video for Sad But True by The Who yet. I probably need to get to that as well. Yeah, I need to get back to Avatar as well. I mean, there's a lot of differences between the Fender Precision and the Warwick. The Fender that I have is an American Precision bass. And the reason they call it a Precision bass is because of the pickup style. So pickups on a bass that look like this, that are offset, those are Precision pickups, or P pickups. And then the Jazz pickups, which are the J-style pickups, are just the straight line. And that's what's in the Warwick. And they're different brand pickups as well. Sorry, I'm like running over my cord here. But both basses have different styles of wood. They have different electronics. They have different pickups. So they'll get different tones out of both of them. Warwicks are also made in Germany, where this Fender was made in the US. Oh, that sounds so good, Snoopy. I'd love a good Italian beef, man. Oh, I don't get crazy with mine. I just like it with cheese. I know a lot of people like peppers and onions and stuff like that. I just like cheese. Yes, I have tried Mellow Yellow. We have Mellow Yellow all over the place down here. I did not see the collaboration between Les and Rob. That would be cool. Roadie life is a trip, man. It's interesting, to say the least. But it's fun, man. I wouldn't trade any of those experiences for anything. Got to learn a lot. Got to meet a lot of cool people. So I prefer playing bass or guitar. I prefer playing bass because I'm better at it. I like the tones I can get out of guitars, though. I have been to Scotland on tour. I've done shows in Glasgow many times. Maybe, well, I wouldn't say many, but like 4 or 5, maybe. We actually had, the first time I ever did a show in Glasgow, we had, I think it was at the Hydro SSE, maybe, if that's what it's called. And we had a couple days off that we pretty much just spent at a bar, but, yes, I'm familiar with Lacuna Coil. I have not tried the Slipknot whiskey. That came out after I stopped drinking, so I will not be trying it, but I almost bought a bottle just to have as like a collector's thing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the beard's coming in. No secret, just don't shave. Yeah, so that's an LTD ESP. I think it's a 400. I know the E1000, the Eclipse 1000s have like the gold hardware and the gold trim on them. These are great guitars. No, Mariposa, guitar and bass sounds can come from a lot of things. Now, the pickups, yes, are a big part of it. The different wood on the guitars also affect the tone. I have no plans on shaving. I am already fully aware on how dangerous having a beard around a baby will be, but I'm gonna keep it. Wait for the cheaper Epiphone whiskey. True, or I'll just never open it and I'll keep the whiskey in it. Like, I have no problem doing that. I have tons of bottles of whiskey in my house. They've been sitting for probably like 3 or 4 years. A Veyer, yes. The VG tank stuff made it to Germany. There's some people overseas that are finally starting to get it too. I know Chase got his because he was wearing it in Discord. What age was I when I first got into metal? when I say metal, I'm talking now, you know, I heard like stuff like Black Sabbath and stuff as a young kid, but the first time I ever heard like metal in terms of how I view it, like American metal, like double bass, screaming, fast, heavy guitars, I think I was 8. It was the Mortal Kombat movie soundtrack, actually. Zero Signal by Fear Factory was like the first like metal song I ever heard, and I was like sold. But that soundtrack had like Typo Negative and Napalm Death and KMFDM. So imagine me being 8 years old in my room listening to Fear Factory and Napalm Death and Typo Negative and Biohazard KMFDM. Like, I was sold. Yes, Dave. There are some woods that are more dense than others, then there's some that are lighter than others, and then if the guitar body is hollowed out, it'll affect the tone. Every single thing on a guitar will affect the tone. But then, of course, when you're talking rock and metal, a lot of people are running them through different amps and different pedals, and the amp will affect the tone even more, and then the pedals will affect the tone even more. So no two guitars will sound the same. And I say that as well, meaning like if I had two of those identical ESPs right there and two different people playing them, they would not sound the same because people have different technique and different skill as well. I don't think my parents were freaking out because my dad listened to a lot of, you know, classic rock metal stuff or classic metal stuff like that. He didn't necessarily like the double bass and screaming style stuff. It's growing on him now that he's checking out stuff because I'm doing like YouTube and stuff like that. But I think my dad was more freaked out when I went through my rap phase than anything. That's like the one style of music my dad's never been able to fully get into. There is some stuff that he does like, actually. I remember him bringing home a Tone Loc CD when I was really young. What's up, David? Welcome. Yeah, Snoopy, same. I actually like the Warwick that I have. It's a Ovencoal body, and it sounds awesome, and it's got great resonance. I can't wait to get started on this thing and fix it back up. What is the biggest band I have toured with? I mean, I guess it's all relative, but I would... probably the correct answer to that is Van Halen. Everybody knows Van Halen. Floor has talked about me and Chase on her channel. That is news to me. That would be really cool if that was true. I'm not saying it's not true, I just haven't seen it. Which is your favorite song that is not metal, rock, or even rap? I don't know. That's a hard... Songs are hard questions, honestly. What bass and amp brands would I recommend for someone just starting out? Well, there's a lot of factors to be considered in that. How much money do you want to spend? If you're just starting out, I mean, my honest answer would be anything. Just get something that works. Get something, if you're just starting out, I would always recommend go cheap and decide if you still like it. Because some people start playing instruments and music and they get bored of it or they want to switch to another instrument. So I would say there's no need to spend a ton of money on something nice now. Spend a little less money, get something cheap that works, and if you decide like a year from now you're still really into it, that's when you spend money on better gear. Bass-wise, in terms of just great gear, I've always went for Ampeg. You can't go wrong with Ampeg. I love their products. Guitar-wise, man, I mean, there are so many different options that I like that are good. But I still stand by that kind of generic, just find something decent and cheap. And then if you're really into it, then spend the money later on down the line. How do you buy a Black Sabbath record by accident? Dealer, that's not always true. Like, yeah, they're like, they use drum machines and stuff in the studio, but there are many rap and hip hop groups that when they tour, they use live bands. MH203, nice, yeah. No, that's a good guitar for just, it's a good guitar. That's one of those guitars that I would say, like, yeah, it's a great midline guitar, and then if you decide you're really into it or get good and want to spend money on something else, upgrade from there. I like the MHs. Marco, that's a good idea, and if you want to go a pretty cheap route, get an audio interface and download a program like BiosFX on your computer. That's what I do when I'm here. I just plug straight into an audio interface with my bass, and then I have software on my computer where I can basically adjust and pick any tone I want. And I think the audio interface was $100 and BiosFX was like $150. Nine Inch Nails was also an early entry for me into metal, and I absolutely loved it. Do I have any horror stories about touring? Probably a ton. I mean, my horror stories are probably just having to adjust to things on the fly on tour and things not working out. Had some heated moments. I've been stuck at airports for like a day at a time. I have not heard the new Falling in Reverse yet. I need to check that out. Yeah, Phil, that's a good point too. You could also buy used. I mean, the guy that I guitar tech for now, his first guitar he ever got in his life was from a pawn shop. And he still has it. Oh, that'd be awesome, Jamie. The original lineup of Black Sabbath to download? Hell yeah. Pacificas are nice too, Edward. I have a buddy of mine, Canadian guitar player in Toronto. He pretty much exclusively plays Pacificas and loves them. I heard of a guitar brand called Blade. I have not, actually. Nine Inch Nails and Bowie show in 95. I saw Nine Inch Nails and Bauhaus in 2005. Are there any bands that I would never want to tour with? Yes, but the reasons that I wouldn't are probably not public knowledge, so I really can't go into that. But yeah, there are definitely bands that if I got an offer like today, hey, come work for us, I would say no. It's not worth it. Any suggestion for good model of Ilian pipes for beginner? Nope. I don't know anything. Have I ever had a band equipment not show up and you have to scramble to get similar equipment for a show? Yes, actually. We did a tour in Australia in 2017, I think. And then we went straight from Australia back to the US into a show. We had to fly from Sydney to LA to Pittsburgh, and we had a show in Pittsburgh, and our gear didn't make it back. So our production manager had to scramble that day. We had our guitars because we flew with our actual guitars, but our other gear, our pedal boards and stuff got like freighted. And our production manager had to get a hold of a local rental company and rent all, like, everything that we needed to use for our show. Those are the situations where you're working for your pay. Like, oh, I love Bad Brains. When will you work with Sabaton now? Probably never. I mean, that's the realistic answer. They have their crew, man. I'm not trying to get jobs here. I'm just trying to talk to other roadies and stuff like that. But if they asked me to come work a show, you know, I'd talk to Claire, or a tour, I'd talk to Claire and see what she thinks, and I would go do it. Ooh, I see Saga responding to somebody. I think I missed the question. Who are we talking about? Oh, Volbeat. I definitely eventually want to give some time to Volbeat, but yeah, like Saga said, I had some touring friends that were like so obsessed with them, and they would never stop talking about them, that it kind of burned me out before I even listened to them. If that makes sense, if that's ever happened to any of you guys. Snoopy, I'll check that out. A Vox AC30, they're good amps. They're a classic tone, man. A lot of people like them for just the tonal quality. I had a guitar player that had a Vox out for a while that we used, and it was great. It's got a really good high gain to it. There are amps that I would pick before that one, though. Have I ever been to Sweden? I actually have not. I've been to Europe quite a few times, but I've never been to any like Nordic countries. Go Caps. I can support the Caps. They're not in my division. Hi, Trinks. All good, Saga. Go for it. Night Flight Orchestra. Side gig for a bunch of different Swedish metal musicians. I would check that out. Yellowtoe, welcome. It makes sense, Lionheart. Come on. When you have somebody that just will not stop talking about something and how good it is, you don't want to... It just burned me out. Yeah, RPG makes a good point, man. There's so much gear now at such different prices that if you ever wanted to play an instrument, now is a great time. Okay, if Volbeat have a song with Barney from Napalm Death, I would check that out, because I love Napalm Death. I love them. We had Napalm Death on as an opener on a tour I did, and they were the nicest guys. Netherlands, what's up, Martin? More Netherlands people in the house. Let's go. What is my dream band to tour with? I don't know if there's any necessarily any bands, but I would love to tech for a person like Devin Townsend. That would be a dream for me. Trent Reznor would probably be another one. Which European countries have I been to? I've been to all of the UK. I've been to like Central and Western Europe, but I've never gone north or east on tour. The oddest or most unusual instrument I've had to deal with on the road? Really nothing crazy. Like I've had to, you know, work on some mandolins and stuff like that, but that's really about it. No, I have not seen Ronnie's new music video yet. I need to check it out. Max, all good, buddy. I'm going to be streaming later on Twitch. It's probably going to be pretty late your time, so don't feel like you need to be there. I've got some stuff to do with Claire later, so when I get on Twitch after this, it's probably going to be later, like a few hours from now. Canada! Oh, hey there, bud. Yeah, Trent is a musical genius, in my opinion. Dude, Music Man Sterling stuff is great. If anybody wants to play bass, I would highly recommend Sterling. That's like their low to mid line. But the only difference with Sterling and regular Music Man products is they just use different woods and finishes. All the electronics are the same. So you're still getting a pretty awesome bass for a lot less money. I have listened to Powerwolf. I like Powerwolf a lot. One of my videos got blocked, unfortunately, but I do have another reaction to him up there. I would tech for Marco. That would be awesome. Dude, Barney. Okay, I have a funny Barney story from Napalm Death. I walked into catering one day, like after our sound check, and they were already sound checked. And he's sitting by himself in catering, sitting at a table, having tea, and reading a book on like astrophysics or something. Like something like that. And I was just like, this is odd. So I like struck up a conversation with him, and it's like, he's the most soft-spoken dude. Like, it's just so funny. Like, you watch him with Napalm Death, and then you have a conversation with him, and he's just so nice. If I had to get into a different instrument for teching that I don't know yet, what would it be? I'd probably like to learn more about pianos and keyboards, honestly, because I've done drums, bass, guitars. I'd like to learn more about steel guitar as well. Arula, thank you very much for that comment. That is so nice. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Tiffany, that is a great question. I wouldn't say it sucks to have a large beard when I'm eating, but it does get annoying sometimes. Now, here's the thing. I keep my mustache trimmed because it's more the mustache that gets in the way. None of this does anything because I'm putting the food up here. But when the mustache grows in and I'm trying to eat, like, Taco Bell, for example, eating a Crunchwrap Supreme is very hard. Now, with the beard, pasta is hard to eat. Claire always makes fun of me because every now and then I do, like, drop little bits of food into my beard, and then my dog wants to get it out. Am I always wearing a beanie in the house? I've had this question quite a few times now. People are like, why do you wear a hat in the house? My ears are cold. And my hair gets in the way because it's getting long and I just want it. No, I'm not always wearing a beanie. I do wear hats a lot, though. The only experience with Gretsch instruments that I have is with their drum kits. The drummer for Lifehouse used Gretsch, and I loved their drum kits. I had a blast doing that Nanowar Steel stream with them. Those guys are just funny. There was an almost awkward funniness, like an awkward humor to it, because it's like, we don't know what we're going to do or what anybody's going to say. David, like I was talking about before, man, you can do so much with different things. I mean, I would save the money and go smaller. The technology with some of this digital stuff is so good now. You don't really have to spend an arm and a leg to get a decent product. Richard, honestly, not good. Now, I don't want to be a downer, but a lot of the companies in town in Nashville that do rigging and lighting and audio and stuff like that, they're all hurting big time. Yes, I have been told I look like Haley Joel Osment. I've also been told I look like Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've never heard of the beards. That's probably why I haven't reacted to it. See you, Martin. Thanks for being here. What would be your next dream interview? If I could get anybody to interview, who would it be? Trent Reznor would be up there. Probably Bjorn from In Flames would be up there. Devin Townsend would be up there. Marco would be up there. I could think of those off the top of my head. Under Oath. Sure. I listened to Under Oath. Oh, I love Brian Setzer. My favorite underrated guitarist, Neil Giraldo. Neil is the husband of Pat Benatar. who has also been her guitar player her entire career. Dude is phenomenal. And not everybody knows his name, and they should, because he is so stupidly good. Maybe RPG, I just thought the globe would be fun. Dave Mustaine from Megadeth lives in Nashville. Actually, one of my buddies lives like right near him. And he's his neighbor. He's talked to him quite a few times. Dave, it all depends. I love in-ears. I started using in-ears on the road in like 2012, and that's how I prefer listening to music. But there are great headphone companies out there. For domestic use, like, if I'm laying in bed listening to music, I just have wireless earbuds that I put in. But when I listen to music like this, and when I'm editing videos, I have my in-ears in. Like, I have them in right now. It's just how I prefer listening to stuff. Sound quality is great. Yeah, Tom was great, man. It was really fun talking to him. We talked about a lot of random stuff. Yeah, Sage, there's actually, it's kind of funny in the roadie community. There are certain roadies that, like, we all know by name. We know what people have done, and, like, they're almost kind of like rock stars in our world. No, when bands plan tours, that is a very calculated thing. There's a lot that goes into planning tours. Not only is it markets that their booking agents know they're going to do well in, but they have to work with the venues to find available dates, and then they have to schedule the routing so the drives aren't horrible. Like, there's a lot that goes into tour planning. It's not random. Now, with smaller level bands, like when I was in a band and we had off days and we wanted to play, we'd play anywhere. So that's random. We would just find a place and be like, hey, can we play there? Christopher, I'll take that one too. I've heard Jason Lee a lot. Buckethead, yeah. I saw Buckethead in Nashville once when I first moved here. It was pretty wild. I have not tried Dave Mustaine's coffee. I didn't know he had any. Yes, Edward. I'm gonna do Human Nature in order, with the exceptions of the songs I've already reacted to, which was Noise and Harvest. So, music will be on Wednesday. Yes, I do plan on doing more Winter Sun. Like I've said before, there's so much music and so much recommendations that have been made. It's hard to get to everything right away. Like, trust me, guys, I just don't have the time. Like, Dave, I haven't done tour planning in terms of, like, booking stuff, but as a tour manager, assistant tour manager for, like, mid-level bands, I've done advancing for tours. I've done hotel booking, flight booking, all that stuff. All good, Tiffany. Denise, I really don't anymore. I used to watch some of those shows back in the day, but I don't. Not that I hate them, but I don't watch them anymore. What video games do I normally play? So, Destiny 2 is my main. I've been playing Destiny since it first came out in Destiny 1. But on stream, I play a lot of Fall Guys because I like to get competitive, and I've gotten pretty decent at it. We like to play Rocket League with everybody on Discord. Phasmophobia from time to time when we want to laugh because it scares me unnecessarily. Every now and then I'll jump into a battle royale like Warzone or Fortnite or something like that. Is Yurko a serious option for Nightwish? I would say yes. I was trying to troll yesterday and I was telling everybody that the new bass player for Nightwish is Ryan Martini from Mudvayne, and I think some people actually believed me, so I'm sorry about that. so much music, so little time. Seriously, I mean, it really. I know you guys just have to be patient, man. Like, there's a lot of music to get through, and it's difficult. I'm trying my best here. What's up, Monty? Best British metal band I've ever seen live. Ooh, I don't know. Best British metal band I've ever seen live. Probably Napalm Death, because they're one of the only British metal bands I've ever seen live. Yeah, I mean, I already release 5 reactions a week. Even when I was doing 7 a week, when I was doing one every day, there were still people that were like, you haven't done this one yet. I'm like, I know, there's only so many days. And on top of that, I'll be honest, I could crank out more reactions if I just sat and reacted like everybody else on YouTube. But I like to put a lot of care into it. I like to discuss the gear and the production and research and put up facts. And it takes time, man. The average video for me takes like 4 hours. That's just sitting and editing, on top of everything else I do at home. So, let me go back up in the comments. Sorry. Yes, Lori, that's awesome. Tell your husband I said hello. I would love to see the original lineup of Mudvayne tour again. I don't think it'll happen, though. I would definitely love to play some Magic the Gathering Arena Pennywise as well. Landmarks is another band I want to get to. Yes, I'm familiar with Porcupine Tree and Burka. We need to play Sea of Thieves, for sure. Do I like survival games? Yeah, Valheim I saw was getting really good reviews. I need to check that out. I play some survival games here and there. I tried getting into Ark with Chase and all the other guys. I played some Rust a lot back in the day, too. Oh, you'll be getting more Evergrey, don't you worry. I didn't know Courtney was doing a podcast. I'll have to check that out. Steve Harris playing bass for Nightwish, or just Steve Harris in general? We need to mention who Sabaton's drummer's wife is. I don't know. That's I can't even hide that. Come on. We know who it is. I got my first tattoo when I was 18 years old. I got it on my right forearm. It was like the first tattoo I got was the Celtic Tree of Life on my, oh, you can't really see that well. I got the Celtic Tree of Life on my arm when I was 18, and then I started working on everything else. Most of the artwork on this arm is actually my tattoo artist in Chicago. He did all of this freehand. That's why people are like, what's the meaning in your tattoos? I'm like, most of it's just literally artwork. My tattoo artist did this all freehand. No tracing, no outlines, no nothing. I trusted him enough that I was just like, go for it. There's only a few tattoos I have that are specific. Like I have the In Flames Jester head on the back of my arm here. I have my wife's initial on my ring finger and the inside of my hand. By the way, out of every tattoo I have, that one hurt the most. Just that right there. That hurt the most by far. Am I friends with other reactors other than Chase? I don't know if I could say I'm friends with them, but there are other reactors that I talk to. I talk to Julia here and there, not a ton. I don't know her well. I talk to Charlie here and there as well. I've talked to Elizabeth, the charismatic voice, a few times. But that's really about it. I talked to some other reactors on the Night Dreamers Reacticide Discord. We have a private channel for YouTubers to talk, and I talk to them too. I would also love to see the original lineup of Sepultura, but you are right, that will never happen. Yeah, Floor's married to the former drummer of Evergrey. Amaranth's drummer's girlfriend. What? Okay, hold on. I knew this for a second. Fuck, who is it? Honestly. Somebody told me this recently. Oh, nice. What made me want a beard on my face? Just the fact that I hate shaving. I just hate shaving, honestly. So I just grew a beard. Yeah, Mpu's gonna play an EV1. I know he used that new custom from that Finnish company on the recording of the album, but live, I bet he still plays the EV1. Steve wants to know Cubs or Sox? White Sox, all the way. I am a Southsider. Oh, no, I could call Chase a friend. Chase is more like... Serious, no joke, Chase is more like a brother at this point. Like, we're close enough friends that we can, like... We can argue about shit. We can, like, get sarcastic with each other. Like... It's like last night, perfect example. Chase and I got into an argument. I straight up just got off Discord because I didn't feel like doing it. But it was, you know, and I'm not saying it's his fault. Like, I was part of the argument, but it's more like a brotherly thing. It's, am I mad at him? No. Is he mad at me? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't talked to him today yet. See you, Mariposa. Stay warm. What is my favorite brand of guitar? I like ESPs a lot. Basses, Warwicks. Any other instrument? Drum-wise, I like Ludwig drums a lot. I like Pearl drums a lot. No, not Red Sox, White Sox. That's right. Ad infinitum, okay. The Violent Gentleman collaboration is going very well. From what I understand from them, they are going to be restocking all the sizes of all the shirts. The black t-shirts. Nobody really liked the white ones, but that's fine. We're going to do the hoodies and the black ones. I have heard of Lost Society. I have not listened to them. Hockey is better. I won't argue that, but growing up in Chicago, it's kind of a hard split on your baseball team. Half the city likes the Cubs, half the city likes the White Sox, and it's a battle. I am a White Sox fan. Yamaha has great products too. I actually teched for a guy that used Yamaha drums and they were awesome. No, I have not seen the trailer for the Justice League that came out minutes ago. I've been in here. I like mics on drums, but with a good combination, it can be okay. I've only worked for a drummer that triggered his kick drums along with mics, but they split it like 50-50. Oh, what Chicago bands did I cut my teeth on? Let's go here. Rise Against. Lucky Boys Confusion. Alkaline Trio. Stabbing Westward. Factory 87. Chevelle. And I'm talking before these guys were well known. Like, saw a lot of them coming out of the scene. What else? Screeching Weasel. Yes, I will get to that Evergrey reaction. I will probably do that when I release my interview with Tom. Which one do you think is likely going to make the playoffs this year? My answer a couple weeks ago would have been Preds. Now, my answer would be Blackhawks. Now that Lankadan's in net and they're starting to look decent, I have a lot of faith in the Blackhawks making the playoffs this year. What do I think of Nico's drum kit? Mandy asks. I might sound like an idiot here, but who are we talking about? Nico who? Yeah, I love him. I started listening to him when I was in like early high school. Ministry was another one. I forgot about that. Styx is also... Like, what did I grow up on? Lorca is that's kind of what Cut My Teeth is. Like, what did I grow up listening to? Ooh, if I could only choose 2 vocalists, what would be your ideal collab in a song? Holy shit. Devin Townsend? This is going to be a wild one. I would like to hear Devin Townsend do a collaboration with Alex Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail. Because Devin's got that insane range and just that vocal talent and that control. And Alex just has the most insane gutturals I've ever heard. I would like to hear them do something. Mandy, don't nobody hate me here. I never got into Iron Maiden. Not that I don't like them. I just never got into them. It just never happened. I've listened to them. I just never really got into them hard like other bands. No, Subban is not our goalie. Subban is terrible. I would say that to his face. Now, is he a better hockey player than me? Absolutely. But should he be starting on an NHL team? No. That is just my opinion as a semi-educated hockey fan. Who's the most impressive drummer I've ever heard, hands down? That's tough, man. There's a lot of drummers in the country music industry that their talent level is insane. Like, for example, Billy Freeman, Dustin Lynch's drummer. The first time I ever worked a gig with them, he was warming up at sound check, to Bleed by Meshuggah. The dude is insanely talented. He's so freaking good, man. Some of the best musicians in the world are people that none of us have ever heard of. Guaranteed. Phil from Whitechapel and Justin from Tala would be insane too. Giannis he's got a voice for sure. If I got the choice to pick any band, I think I would like to tech for Devin Townsend, man. Really do. What are the Bears doing for quarterback this year? Probably sucking again. Dude, it's been like... That is the, like, curse of the Bears. We can never get a quarterback. Buddy Rich has a great video, Edward, where he explains, like, the difference between the traditional and the overhand grip. That is so funny. I think I've heard that name. I don't know if it's pronounced Haken or Haken, but I have heard the name. Yeah, Valeri. The session musicians in this town. So the difference between a touring musician and a session musician. For a lot of bands, the band members that tour with them are not necessarily the people that recorded in the album. Now, this usually only happens with like solo artists and pop and country and stuff like that. When you're talking about metal bands and rock bands, they're all recording in the studio. But in Nashville, for example, where you have solo country artists, the guys that play on stage with them most of the time are just hired to tour and play on stage with them. There are session musicians that play on albums in town and don't tour. And they are insane musicians. They're the guys that can go into a recording session and hear a demo of what they need to record once and rip through it in one take. So good. Ooh. I didn't know that the new Pretty Reckless was a collab with Tom Morello. Thank you for bringing that up. Cutler is the best Bears quarterback of all time. That is absolutely false. Now, Cutler is not as bad as people like to make him out to be. He's nowhere near the worst that they've had. But I would not say he's the best. Statistically, you may be onto something. Because his stats weren't as bad as, like I said, like people like make him out to be. Any 70s bands I like? Probably a ton. Probably too many to name. What do I think of the Matthew Stafford trade? Where did he go? I haven't even been keeping up with anything. It's hockey season. That's all I pay attention to. Dude, my dad discovered recently that Lemmy was in Hawkwind. He didn't know that. It's actually pretty cool. Have I done any studio teching? Yes, I was the production assistant on a Red album, and I did a lot of session stuff and tech work for that. Yeah, Melissa, that's my point. Some of the best musicians in the world are people that have never even been in signed bands or have huge names. Who do I think is the best NHL goalie of all time? Holy shit. All time? I'm just going to be a biased Blackhawks fan here and just say Eddie Belfour. Yeah, I mean, Deep Purple, I mean, you could argue that they were also 60s. But yeah, they were huge in the 70s. Deep Purple's great. Of course, John Bonham. I never really got into Suicide Silence either. I don't dislike them. I don't love them. I just never really got into them. Ooh, new Rammstein album. Oh, that might make for some reactions. Do I listen to any Asia? Maybe from time to time in a more comical way. So guys, I've been here for about an hour with you now. I've got some stuff I need to do around the house, so I'm going to just kind of wrap it up here. But I do want to answer a couple more questions. Do I think Ovi will retire? No, I do not. I think he wants that goal record so bad. Pernilla, thank you. Oh, that's awesome. You were at that concert. That's sick. I didn't listen to Rush growing up, but I got into him as I got older. Yeah, Kiprasov is for sure up there. I am familiar with Scar Symmetry, yes. I have not listened to Civil War yet, but I know about them. I need to check that out. What's coming up this week? Monday, I actually have a reaction to a band on Seek and Strike Records, which is a Los Angeles-based record label. Orbit Culture is on there. They asked me to check out one of their newer bands that's putting out an EP that I've never heard of before in my life. And, you know, I always like checking out new stuff. So Monday is a reaction to a band called Exist Immortal. I would say if you like Periphery, Tesseract, Monuments, stuff like that, you're going to love this band. It's very cool. Tuesday, I plan on checking out The Attack of the Dead Men again, but the Radio Tepak version of it. Wednesday, we are going to be live streaming music by Nightwish for the first of the Human Nature album reactions. Thursday and Friday, I haven't decided yet. One of those days will probably, or Thursday might be Evergrey because I want to get that interview out and I want to do another reaction. Friday is going to be another throwback, hopefully, of my Rewind series, but I got to figure out what era of music I want to do with you guys. And then Saturday is going to be Sabaton Saturdays. Haven't decided on the song yet. So usually I would jump there now, but I've got some stuff to do at home with Claire. So in a few hours from now, I'm going to jump on Twitch and play some video games. So if you guys want to hang out on Twitch, feel free to join me over there too. It's super fun. We just stream video games and interact with the chat just like this. And there are some funny moments and funny times and stuff that happens. I put the link to Twitch in the chat if anybody would like to join. Let me finish up on the comments here, and then I'm going to jump off. Rascana, I am good. I'm wrapping it up here. It's okay. I actually saw Scar the Martyr in concert once. They opened for Rob Zombie and Korn, Claire and I. That's the first metal concert I ever took Claire to. And yes, I am doing Human Nature in order. I'm just skipping the songs I've already done a reaction to, which was Noise and Harvest. David, that's a good question. But with our kid on the way, I am semi-officially retired from touring right now. I'm going to be staying home for a while. So we're still going to be doing these videos for quite a while. So guys, thank you very, very, very much for being here. I always enjoy doing this every week and just catching up with you guys. As I said, I'll be on Twitch later. I'm also on Discord a ton. If you guys want to join the Discord, we all hang out there a lot. Anybody that purchased a Violent Gentleman, TankTheTech collaboration, hoodie, t-shirt, whatever, thank you so much. Thank you for anybody that's ever subscribed, donated, whatever. You guys are awesome, man. I'm absolutely loving doing this, and I will continue to do this. So wherever you are in the world, have a fantastic day, and I will see you all very, very soon.